Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Wednesday, the 27th of March, 2024, my last consecutive streaming day of the week, and the final major day in the RPG Overload push for completion, because I have great news for all of you tonight. We are finishing 2 games on Friday. Indeed. Thank you for your patience during the past 2 months, 3 months that we've been playing them. Thank you for the patience these past 2 weeks as we push through them. Okay, so let's talk about that. First of all, on today's Level 1 podcast, some fun stuff to talk about, including an interesting idea I had for my birthday bash marathon coming up on April 6th. In addition to that, some game news and topics to cover. So good stuff in regards to that. And I absolutely enjoyed a nice chill podcast stream. And then we swung over to Baldur's Gate 3. Here's the good news. We have finished all of the gameplay elements of Baldur's Gate 3 and made all the major story choices. It's done. However, the game has about an hour epilogue, and I didn't have time for that, and I said, well, I don't want to skip it. I've played 140 hours. Obviously, I want to see the ending of all the story elements. So, we're going to do that on Friday, and I'll talk a little bit about that because the schedules will flip on Friday. Likely what will happen on Friday night is we'll do that, and then I'll do a video that won't likely be a numbered review, but instead will be my overall thoughts about Baldur's Gate 3 now that I've finally completed it in its entirety and all of its side content and all of its missions and all of that. It'll be a good video, I think, that people will enjoy, okay? Then, on the late stream tonight, I got insanely far in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. We finished up the Kasuga Hawaii storyline, which took about an hour, a little over an hour, for all the final boss fights and story. We went back to Japan and immediately realized I did need to grind a little bit more if I was going to have ultimate weapons for the end of the game. I had enough components to make 3 ultimate weapons. And I said, okay, what should we do? Let's swap jobs around. Let's make a couple ultimate weapons, which we did. And now we're going to try to get the final one and finish up the game. So I'm excited for that. But what we had to do for about 45 minutes to an hour at the end of the stream, we had to grind in the optional challenge dungeon that was in Yokohama in order to get enough components to craft the final ultimate weapons. So we did it. For an hour we grinded. We chilled and talked, and boom, we went from like level 41, 42. I think actually we started around, I take that back. I think we were like level 43, 44. We went to level 48. So we gained 4 levels, and we got all the components to get the final endgame weapon. So this means when we play again, all I need to do is figure out what is the final job classes I want everyone to be, get the ultimate weapons, and then we go to the end of the game. And the good news is, since we already beat all the gameplay components of Baldur's Gate 3 and only need about an hour to play, here's what we're going to do. Tomorrow, I'm off from streaming. On Thursday, I'll be out with, doing stuff with my wife, having fun. And I hope that you guys have a very pleasant Thursday yourselves. All right? Friday, when I return, obviously, we'll have a fun Level 1 podcast recapping game news and the like. But the first stream on Friday will be Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And I know some people will say, oh, no, you didn't play that as a daytime stream in like 2 months. It didn't work as a daytime stream. It's the finale. Okay? It's literally the final stream. This will give us enough time to finish with the jobs, the crafting, the leveling, and then go to the final story. From what I'm going to understand, the final story will take about probably an hour to 90 minutes. And if we end up, finishing a little bit on the earlier side, that's perfectly fine. We could just hang out for an extra hour on the stream and do like a chill, impromptu, Q&A or whatever. All right. But I want to wrap it up. So that's why it's important to have that final, stream of it to wrap it up. We'll have enough time for it. So the daytime stream Friday, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth conclusion. The late night stream on Friday, the conclusion of Baldur's Gate 3. It's just going to be the story epilogue, and I'll do a special video giving my final thoughts overall about the game now that I've completed it. And that means starting this Saturday, it's new games. It will absolutely be Dragon's Dogma 2 on the first stream on Saturday. The late stream will either be trying out the Battlefront Classic Collection again, because guess what? I tested it this morning when I was playing on my podcast. It worked. Not only did it work, the connection was good. It was fluid. There wasn't teleporting or lagging all over the screen, and all the hit detection worked perfectly. I was like, completely night and day from launch day. It feels so much smoother now. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll do a multiplayer stream of this because that's what I bought the damn game for. I didn't really get to do that because it was broken at launch, right? So we could do that, or we could actually start the other new game that I was interested in, Alone in the Dark, a horror puzzle game that people are saying would probably fit my kind of streams perfectly. It's got funny elements that I can comment on. It's got horror. It's got all kinds of fun, interesting stuff. And I feel like we should play it for variety. So we could do one of those two things Saturday night. Think about it. Maybe give me your opinions on Friday when I come back. And then, of course, this week coming up, also we'll likely see the premiere of my wife and I starting our Beyond Two Souls co-op playthrough, which we're going to do together. You may also see some other gameplay of other types, depending what you guys want to see. All right, so let's think about it and go from there. But I think it's going to be a fun week overall to not be doing the two games I've been playing for months on end. Okay? Everyone, thank you. This is it. The big finale is Friday. If you've liked one or both of these RPGs, I hope that you will tune into those streams on Friday. Sorry that I'm flipping the times of the streams because it's necessary because of the amount that's needed for each one. But I feel like it's going to be a great, great time. And I certainly hope you will join me on Friday for the end of RPG Overload. All right? Thank you so much for these months of putting up with it. See you Friday for the conclusion. Be safe on Thursday. Have a good night. See you Friday morning. Peace out.